Hey guys, Nolan's Fishing here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to rig a tube. There's 3 techniques that I'll be showing you. My last tournament, I did very well on the tube, so I thought I would show you guys how I rig up my tubes in 3 different ways. See you guys. So the first technique of rigging up a tube is going to be the standard technique. This is with a standard tube hook. I believe that KVD, Strike King KVD makes this hook. This is probably about a 3/16 to a 1/4 ounce, and we'll be rigging that up on the Cam's custom baits, 3 and 3.5 inch tubes. So let's start it out. It's one of my favorite colors here. So let's start. So what you do to start out rigging a tube is you start out with a regular old tube hook. I like the 45 offset hooks instead of the 90s. But so you go from the bottom of the tube and you insert the tube head into the tube. You make sure all the skirt is good, and then you just got to use your fingernail to cut a little hole in there so you can get your eye out, right? And that's how you rig a tube in the standard form. Fish this along rock, wood, really any cover except for really heavy matted grass. But this is a great technique, great for smallmouth, largemouth, and even spots. So that's the first technique. This is just simple. So the second technique that I'll be showing you, it's like the standard technique except a little bit different. There's a little tweak to it. This is the goby technique. This is to imitate your goby on your northern lakes, which I commonly fish and will be fishing this upcoming year. And that's the main forage of the smallmouth and the largemouth. So let me show you how that's done. So I'll do it with the Cam's custom baits again, and they're 3.5 inch, and I'll be using a goby head instead. The head is bulged on this one more than the other one. Now this is probably a 1/2 ounce, so you'll be throwing this on a heavier rod, maybe even a bait caster if you're snapping it. But this is the hook to go to whenever you're talking about goby heads. So this is a VMC goby style head. I believe Strike King and a bunch of other companies make them. I'll link them down below in the description through Tackle Warehouse. So it's just like rigging it the standard way, except it's going to be a little bit tougher to push. So you're going to have to push it a little bit more than you do on a regular one, and then cut it, and you see how the head is bulged out like a goby, and just looks good in the water. I believe that it sometimes generates more bites than the standard rig in goby territory, and it's heavier, so it's going to cause more reaction strikes. It's going to sink straight down to the bottom instead of flutter down like this one will. So for the third technique and final technique that I like to rig my tubes, it's known as the stupid rig, alright? The stupid rig works in like high wood areas, grass, and that sort of deal. So I'll be using the Cam's custom baits except in a 4-inch tube, which I don't have the same exact color, but I got a 4-inch tube from them in a green pumpkin. So you stupid rig has an offset sort of deal hook, and it has a wide gap so that you can Texas rig. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So how I like to rig them, this is a little bit tough. So you got to start with the hook end and stop right about there, right about a centimeter from the top of the bait, and then you're going to want to come back in and push the head all the way up and pull the hook, right? You're gonna get to a point where you can tell that the head's right here. This is all blank space. This is where you want the hook eye to come through. So what you gotta do is you gotta sort of maneuver it. It's a little tough. You gotta sort of maneuver it to the point where it goes to the front of the tube. Like that. You'll see how that works. So you're gonna poke out the eye there. You're gonna make sure it's seated nicely, and then you're gonna come back in like if you were Texas rigging. Just like that. You'll see how the hook stands out a little bit. Now, if I'm fishing lightly wooded or even heavily wooded areas, I'll throw it this way, but if I'm fishing grass, this is gonna get caught up too much. Or if I'm fishing rock and I just don't want it to get caught up as much, I'll fish it like this, but you can always Texpose it. That'll cover up the hook and catch you fish. This is the outro here. Just wanted to say thank you to some of my sponsors like Seagaur and Cam's Custom Baits. Cam's Custom Baits is one of the best bait companies out there. They're a local bait company to me, but he ships all around the country. You will catch more fish on him because he can customize baits. Like the crawfish and Pierre, commonly more like copperish and a little bit purple, and it just catches more fish through customizing your baits and being able to change up colors to match the hatch and get the job done in tournaments. I just want to say thank you to you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share the video. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you later.